feature potentially undervalued public companies to an audience of retail investors and fund managers. Some of you may even be in the room, I'm not sure. It's my great pleasure this morning to introduce an old friend, somebody who's been on the program very many times over the years, and I'm sure he's no stranger to you. His name is David Morgan, and he's going to speak with you about something that we're all going to have to pay attention to, something that we all need to get educated about, and it is the technology affecting this business, affecting the world in general, and affecting mining. It's my pleasure now to introduce the silver guru, David Morgan.
Hear me all right? Okay, good. All right, well, first of all, a little technology problem. It is something about technology and mining, and that's what I'm here to talk about. Before I do that, a couple shameless plugs. This is a book Chris Marchese and I wrote called the Silver Manifesto. This is like the Bible on silver. Retails for 30 bucks. I'll sign it for 20. We've got about 20 of them. That'll be at our booth, which is right in the opening door here. And also, David Smith and I wrote Second Chance. This is exit strategies, several of them, to exit this market with most of your profits intact. And I still believe strongly that the next leg up in this precious metals market is going into the financial record books. And I'm on record as saying that 90% of the move comes in the last 10% of the time. And I truly believe that will be the case. And it's not just the precious metals markets that act that way, it's all markets. You look at the NASDAQ, you look at the DJI, you look at the real estate bubble, and there is a lot of money, loose change out there seeking somewhere to go. Right now it's going to cryptocurrencies. But when it switches back to the ultimate money, gold, it is going to rocket gold. Since silver is a smaller market and there's more people that have something to protect of modest means, it will rush the silver market into what I think will be one of the biggest moves in silver we've ever seen. So obviously I'm still bullish on the metals. So moving into technology. First of all, I have to put on a little bit of my sick, dark humor. I'm definitely politically incorrect, and I make no bones about it. I'm a straight shooter, and I like people that are in the same vein, but had to pick this up. Good morning, world. What are we offended by today, okay? So do you want to, how many here want to make money with this new technology in the mining industry? Okay. So show of hands again. So I'd say almost everybody. If you're not, leave the room. See, I'm already politically incorrect. All right, so laser technology. Merger Mines. Merger Mines is a small company. I know the CEO intimately, and he, you know, a lot of these people, you know, try to make a case for their projects, and I'm all for that. Some I like, some I don't. Lex Smith worked with Sterling Mining way back in the beginning. Before I go on, how many are actual paid members of the Morgan Report? Wow, thank you very much. And how many are on like the free list? Okay, good. Good to know, wow. By the way, let me digress. Joe knows I'm the master of digression, but you know, when the Silver Summit started back in, I forget, 2003, I was the main speaker, and Mike Maloney was like in the workshops. And now, you know, those guys are out on the main stage, and I'm here, and I can't even fill this up. But I'm okay with that. Anyway, moving back to where I'm at. Merger Mines, they have a unique idea of using a laser to basically cut through rock. And it's not proven, they don't really have a working model yet, but it's a very interesting idea. So David Smith and I, as we do on many of these companies, you know, boots on the ground, we go there and spend like a day with the company and hear their whole proposal. A lot of retired guys that are familiar with mining. I'm not promoting this at all. I don't own any shares here. What I'm trying to convey is that technology is changing this business just like every other business, so you need to pay attention. So I'm going to digress again. One of the earliest speeches I gave was for a wealth protection conference, and that was around 2000. And at that conference, I gave the great pitch on silver fundamentals. And one of the biggest ideas was that silver had been in a deficit for a number of years. And I was done. And the promoter got right up on stage and said, you know, we've been hearing this story about silver and a deficit and the fundamentals of silver forever. And I'm kind of tired of hearing this. He goes, you know, we had a guy named Jerome Smith in 1999 or 1980 said that silver would be like $200 an ounce by the mid-90s, and it never happened. Now, what's wrong with that? What happened? And I said, well, he made a big error. I go, his presupposition was that the most silver you could mine out of the ground worldwide was 350 million ounces a year, and that was true for 55 years continuous. And based on that assumption and the demand for silver, you would, in theory, run out of silver by the mid-90s. So 100 an ounce, 200 an ounce, put a name on it. I don't know. But his idea was correct, except right after the ink was drying on that last book, the technology changed. Cyanide heap leaching came to the fore. And after cyanide heap leaching came to the fore, the production of gold and silver increased dramatically. So I said to myself, we're always going to be aware that technology could change in this industry and make a significant shift or paradigm shift where very uneconomic situations could become economic. Or maybe you could economically mine gold out of the ocean or whatever. I'm just making up ideas, but I'm giving you the idea that I didn't want to get caught in that inside-the-box thinking and use everything that was valid. There was nothing invalid about his assumption other than the technology change. So, laser technology is mentioned. Now, let me mention a couple more. These are just artist conceptions. Like I said, they don't have a working model yet. So before I move on to the mobile mill, reverse circulation drilling. You know, I mean, I was taught early on that, you know, RC is a good way to get kind of a general feel for the situation, but unless you diamond drill, you're really kind of wasting your money if you have something. And really, that's not true, because now with the new technology, you can have a camera that's looking at the RC drill as it's drilling, real time, to determine, you know, where the faults are, where the fissures are, and everything else. So it's really the most efficient way now to mine. And there aren't that many companies that are using that methodology, but that's a technology change that's significant because one, is cheaper, and two, it's more efficient and gives you better data. So that's a change. So RC drilling's been around forever, but now the new technology shift has made it much more efficient and the best way to drill. Another one is these ore sorters. In these high-grade situations, you can have an ore sorter. These things cost about $850,000, so it's not like pocket change. But you can put the ore through the system and it will pick out what's good and what's bad and kick off what's bad and leave the ore itself there, which saves a lot of time and energy. And when you ship out, you're shipping basically something of value or substance and leaving the waste rock to the side. And there's a couple of smaller companies out here that are employing that method. So these are little shifts that are available today that I try to stay on top of because they're important. So one that I became aware of several years ago was this mobile mill idea. And a mobile mill is a bunch of off-the-shelf components that allow you to crush rock and gravity feed gold on site. So it's a perfect way for a small company like many out here that really have the goods to keep their business going by self-funding and not diluting the shareholders. So I thought, wow, this is awesome. Why didn't I think of that? And so I continued to look into this company before I ever wrote word one about it, because I'm a show me, don't tell me. I come from a test background, and I want to see the working model before I put my name on it. So here we are with one of the most famous, loved and hated personalities in the business, the one and only Bob Moriarty without his ponytail. And we're definitely at the right place. We're at the Vulture Mine. So, we took the mobile mill into this area, and I'm not getting an advance on the slide. I don't know why. Can you advance it one for me back there? There we go. So that's David Smith and Bob. Bob loves to pan gold. It's Bob out. This is hot. I mean, it's like 108 degrees here in Arizona. This is the kind of lengths we go to for, you know, our subscribers and our members. So that's, you know, you need water in the mining industry. That's water. It's recycled, comes out very clean, used over and over again. That's the water tanks hooked up to some of the rest of the mobile mill. And when this was described in that picture, it is like maybe an 18-wheeler in length, and that's inaccurate. It's probably 2.5 18-wheelers in length. That's the hopper at the top and a lot of the electronics that go into the system. And so I get the mobile mill, we watch it work, test it, I write it up. And unfortunately, one of the entities that held a great deal of the initial seed stock, how do I frame this politically correct? Well, I won't. He just sold into it like crazy, kept the share price down for his own greed. But that happens occasionally. Anyway, that's a long story, a long time ago. The company's done well since then. However, so I'm here at the mobile mill, loving every minute of it, writing it up in the Morgan report. And Dwayne says, by the way, oh, I had the whole crew with me too, which they don't always do. But anyway, he says, can you stay another day? And I said, well, I guess so. Why? And he says, well, there's something really interesting that I just don't know. It sounds too good to be true. And you're an engineer, not a mining engineer, and I really trust your common sense and your thinking ability. Can you go visit this guy with me? And I said, guy, what guy? He goes, well, there's this guy who claims to have a reagent that will precipitate out metals, and it's inert. It's like the anti-cyanide. You could drink it. And I go, oh, that does sound too good to be true. Sure, I'll go with you. So I changed my flight schedule, and I go with Dwayne. And I can't even describe this place to where we went, but I'll leave it to your imagination. And the guy's a no-show. And so I'm like, okay. So then I go back to the airport to go home, and the flight's canceled. So I reschedule, and that flight's canceled. My first back-to-back cancellations in my life. But anyway, I digress to come back. So Dwayne gets the reagent, gets it shipped into Canada, and they start doing tests on it. And this is some of the tests. So being the trusty servant of you people that I work for, I went up there and witnessed some of the early tests of this reagent. And David was with me on this trip as well. And so we went through the whole process, and I love it when the promoter, CEO, or whatever's out of the room. I'm just that way, because I like to talk to like the chemist or the main mining engineer or whatever. Just in case, you know, the filtering's a little bit different. So I cornered the chemist and went through, and he explained everything to me to my satisfaction, and saw what the grades were real time. I mean, he's doing the test right in front of us. We were there almost all day, if I recall correctly. And it all came from that bucket there, a bucket of sand. And that's electronic waste. That comes from computer, motherboards, circuit boards, RAM fingers, cell phones, you name it. It's all into one big bucket. And you're getting extremely high-grade returns from this methodology, and it's really quite impressive. So my point is that a good grade gold company, and I'm talking not extremely high grade, but like somewhere in the 1/4 ounce a ton grade, you're looking at something like in the top there. So you're looking at roughly a 1/10 ounce to a 1/4 ounce on a pretty high grade gold mine these days. We're not talking the 1800s when the mines were much higher grade than they are today. And if you look at the electronic waste, you're looking at the differential I'm showing you in this picture. That's not made up. So the company that is aligned with my stock pick, that by the way, no one else knows about, I would say no one else knows about it, it would be more accurate. No one else in the industry is promoting this company. No one else is writing about this company, no one is doing interviews about this company, it's only us. And the stock has moved. And I spoke in Australia about this technology, and one of the guys in the audience said, what is it? And I told him, I'm not going to do that here. I need to increase our subscriber base. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the report for absolutely free. No credit card, nothing. All you need to do is just give me your name and an email and send it to our support. I'll put up the slide in a second, and I'll give you the full report. And you can go back as many months as you want into our database and keep reading it from the good, the bad, and the ugly. And anything else. By the way, when you're a member, you get to write 2 questions per month to me, and I guarantee you an answer. So that's something that I don't think anyone else in the industry does. So anyway, there's a lot of money to be made in the electronic waste sector. A lot. So the company that's kind of the father, or let's say the main multi-billion-dollar company that has a very strong interest in this company and is funding it and doing a pilot project with us now. There's already a pilot company. This is a much bigger one. Will probably become one of the largest gold miners on the planet. They will have never put a shovel in the ground. That's how technology is changing the gold industry right now. Something to think about. So that's kind of a summation of the mobile mill, led to this story about this reagent, which led to going up to Vancouver again and again and again to witness how well this worked, would I write about it or not. And the e-waste story is one that isn't well known. Briefly, this is how these speculative investments usually go. I've certainly been in this industry long enough to say this is a very accurate kind of situation. But yeah, I brought my own and it doesn't even work. I love it. So this one probably does. So start off here. Right now, I would say this stock has moved up. It's probably about right there. You know, when the Agora people or Porter Stansberry or one of those talk about it, it'll do that. I'll probably be saying, hey, take some profits off the table. And it'll probably come down and then go up again. It's hard to say because this is different as a technology. It's not a discovery story. So this curve could be a little off, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that there's nothing wrong with taking a profit when we're in this parabolic move. I teach what many teach, and that is to sell half when you've doubled or tripled your money and let the rest ride for free. That's served me very, very well over the years. So again, the future. I think you're going to learn more and more about this because remember, a marginal gold mine is about 1 gram a ton. And that's a pretty pathetically small amount of gold. I mean, it wasn't like 2 decades ago, geologists would walk over properties that's 1 gram per ton because it was worthless in economic terms. And now it's being mined. And are we at peak gold? I think we are at peak gold or close to it, unless the technology changes, right? And for silver, I wouldn't say that. It's in the book, so remember to buy the book when you leave here. By the way, did I give the prices on these books? I know I'm moving all over. So this one retails for 30 bucks, and this one retails for 20 bucks. And I'll sell them both for 30, and I'll sign them both if you want, okay? And if you just want one, we'll make the price a discount, okay? Anyway, back to the point here. So here's what you need to do. Just get out your phone and take a picture of that. Just send an email to support@themorganreport.com. Please remember, just put in the subject line San Francisco. And I'll make it 30 days plus a couple more days. We'll end it on Christmas. So I'll give you this all for free. Absolutely 100%, no credit card, no who you are. Just take out your camera, take a photograph, and you can learn all about this technology. Now, if you look at the latest reports, it's just going to be some mentions in it. So you're going to have to go into the membership site. You're going to have to go backtrack a few months into when I started this story. But you'll get the whole story. And to me, it's pretty impressive. Now, am I biased? Yes. Do I own it? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. Well, has it made money for us so far? Yes. I forgot the end of my story on my digression here. I got a minute left. So I went to Australia. I talked from the podium. I gave everybody the same deal in Australia. Just give me an email and I'll let you see this right up for free. And all the other stuff that we do. Anyone familiar with Kirkland Lake? Sprott's company. Where was that at the Morgan report? $6 a share, right? So, and it's still undervalued at 14. So, Trevally Mine, Chris's pick. Zinc story. We were first on the zinc story before anyone else would be a zinc short. It's got great silver credits to it. Stock's making all-time highs. Who in this industry has got stock picks that are making new all-time high in this market? Not too many. Are all of our picks like that? No, they're not. But we have been the leader. We were first on the rare earth element story. When I want to understand the Morgan report, I rebranded the Morgan report from the Silver Investor because I've always been interested in all the resource sector. And we've covered all the resource sector from day one. Do we look at gold and silver a lot? Absolutely we do. Because I believe also from the macroeconomic perspective that we have some very tough times ahead of us on the whole economic system, which facilitates only some gold and silver. But there's lots of ways to make money in this market when gold and silver are doing nothing. And that's finding the right companies and writing them up and giving the benefit of that experience and knowledge base to your subscriber base. So thank you. I'll see you back at the booth there by the door, and we'll sell you some books.
Hello, I'm David Morgan, publisher of the Morgan Report, and as some of you may already know, the Morgan Report is about money, metals, and mining. In fact, we cover all resources from rare earth elements to precious metals. I've been publishing on the internet for about 20 years. My primary passion is to help people build and preserve their wealth. I love to make people millionaires. I've helped thousands of people via our research in the Morgan Report, which has thousands of paid members and 10 times that amount on our free weekly updates. Here's what you'll receive from our free newsletter. To-the-point webinars, weekly analysis of the financial markets, interviews and our conference schedule, special reports such as riches and resources, and various metals price forecasts. Our paid service client base is primarily small to medium-sized business owners, professionals in the industry, or the seasoned investor who understands markets and the value of precious metals. My area of expertise includes equity analysis throughout the resource sector, energy metals, base metals. We cover startups to billion-dollar corporations. We focus on a special sector that makes money regardless of price oscillations, and the importance of precious metals due to the ongoing currency devaluations. Our team of 3 analysts and support staff can help you build and protect your wealth. It's important for you to know what other people have said. We're passionate about what we do. High integrity and trust. Tell the truth and own it. If we're wrong, we admit it. Take a long-term outlook with major assets and bet a little to win a lot with speculative situations. If you choose to become a client, you will gain financial insights very few, even professionals, recognize. You'll understand the importance of honesty in our financial system. You will understand how the money system influences almost everything in your life. You'll be prepared for the ongoing currency crisis. And finally, I've chosen to make my life's mission greater than the individual, which means my mission statement is to teach and empower people to understand the benefits of an honest monetary and financial system. It's been a great journey so far, and the best gains in this sector lie ahead over the next 3 to 5 years. I'm fortunate to have earned the status of being a leading authority in my field in helping others protect their wealth. You can email me at support@themorganreport.com or call my office at 480-325-0230.